Namaste, Shriram ji. So we have, I think people are still joining since this is not our usual webinar time. So should we wait for a couple more minutes? If you want, you can start with a prayer in the meanwhile.
Sounds good. So thank you once again. Welcome everyone to the webinar. Let me begin with a short invocation chant on the father of yoga, Maharishi Patanjali. Om Yastyakva Rupamadyam Prabhavati Jagato Nekadanugrahaya Prakshinaklesharashir Vishama Anekavaktra Subhogi सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपरिकरो प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हि शस्सवो व्यात्सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः अस्मदाचार्येभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो नमो नमः ॐ
Thank you, Shriram ji. And we are just at the starting point. So maybe, we can wait for a couple more minutes. I can give a short introduction to people. And so good. Once again, welcome everyone. Thank you for taking out the time to join this webinar on a Sunday. And this webinar is about the first ever retreat that Dr. Shriram Sarvottam will be holding at the Pine Lake Retreat Center in Orlando. So he will be talking about the retreat, and I will quickly give an introduction. He is a distinguished yoga educator and a scholar with over 3 decades of teaching experience. He has been a lifelong practitioner of yoga, initiated into it by Yogacharya R. Subbarama of Chennai. And he trained under his guidance for 14 years. Since 1991, he has been teaching yoga in India and has conducted over 300 workshops and retreats across the United States. Wow, that's a huge number. And in addition to his expertise in yoga, he holds a PhD in electrical and computer engineering from Rice University and works as a senior engineer in the Bay Area, California. And he has a couple of awards to his name. And he's also a founding member of Ekashri Schools of Yoga and is also a faculty in the teacher training program of Yoga Bharati. And his contributions to the field have earned him honors, including the Exemplary Service Award in Yoga from the Consulate General of India and the Yoga Service Award from ISKCON. And he is a sought-after speaker, a very good orator, and he has presented at prestigious conferences, including Yoga Alliance Leadership Conference, Texas Medical Conference, Texas Yoga Conference, etc. He will be holding this retreat. Details he'll be giving you, and we can go ahead and get started. Shriramji, if you would like to. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pragyaji. Thank you all for joining us today for the information session on the upcoming Hindu University of America's Holistic Yoga Retreat over the Labor Day weekend in Orlando, Florida. So this is a 4-day retreat, and the theme of this retreat is Holistic Yoga. In fact, this is the second retreat that I'll be conducting with the Hindu University of America. we had a similar retreat last year that I was a co-faculty, and that was very well received. And we had very good feedback from the participants, especially in the um, yoga sadhana and the yoga knowledge during the retreat. So this year, the theme is holistic yoga. So let me briefly share about what holistic yoga is. In fact, the practice of yoga is holistic. Many people think, or many people misassociate yoga with just postures. But as you know, the practice of yoga attends to all aspects of our existence. It attends to our system as a whole, the holistic practice. So there is practices for the body, practices for the breath in order to regulate our physiology in the system, pranayama and kriya practices. And then we have practices for the inner world, practices to bring the mind to focus, dharana, and then practices for meditation, practices for samadhi, bringing equanimous state of mind and so forth. And in fact, this is something we will delve deeper in the retreat, the ingredients of a holistic practice. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali talks about 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and we will go in depth into it, and we'll also practice all of these 8 steps during the retreat. So Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, which I'm sure is familiar to most of you. So during this retreat, we will have a very beautiful blend of theory and practice. There will be lots of practice. The morning sadhana will be based on the system of yoga called Vinyasa Krama, which I learned from my teacher, Srivatsa Ramaswamy sir, uh, who learned from his teacher, the legendary Sri T. Krishnamacharya, who is regarded as the father of modern yoga. So Ramaswamy sir learned from Sri Krishnamacharya for 33 years, and my teacher is still actively teaching. He's 87 years young. And so Vinyasa Krama is a system that is a holistic practice that blends vinyasas. So vinyasa is a very popular term in yoga world today. And vinyasa is basically a well-crafted sequence of practices. Asa means to place. Nyasa means to place in a stable way, so that there's a stability there. And vinyasa, the prefix V, stands for vividha or variety. So variety of ways in which we can craft a sequence of practices together. So sequence of postures, sequence of pranayamas, and so forth. It is just like in music, where the same set of musical notes, when we arrange them in a particular way, it sounds melodious. If it is a hodgepodge sequence, then it is cacophony, right? A random sequence of musical notes doesn't sound very pleasing. So like that, the same sequence of yoga practices, such as the same set of yoga postures or pranayamas, if we put them together in a carefully well-crafted way, in fact, most of the practices that we will be doing during the retreat are the classic vinyasas that have been put together by Krishnamacharya himself. So he composed these sequences. Krishnamacharya had composed about 800 vinyasas, and we will take a few of them and practice as part of the retreat. And the word krama in the vinyasa krama, krama means step by step unfolding. So we're going to slowly expand our comfort zone for the body and mind. And with each day's practice, we will discover that I'm ready for the next step. So that is how step by step we unfold the yoga practice. So that is the practice aspect, the abhyasa or the sadhana aspect during the retreat. And in a few moments, I will also show a timeline. So what will be the breakdown of the daily schedule and so forth. In addition to the practice, we also have yogic wisdom. So we will delve into the theory of holistic yoga, because rather than doing the practices as a mechanical practice. When we know what we are doing, what are the underlying tenets of yoga practice, yoga wisdom? So this will profoundly elevate the quality of our yoga practice. And in fact, it will elevate the quality of our life. We will discover that the principles of yoga can be applied in our daily life as well. And in fact, at the end of the retreat, we will also be giving out handouts with the sequence of practices. We will have the stick figures of the sequence of practices that we do, and you can keep the practice alive in your daily life. You can invite the yoga sadhana in your life post retreat as well. So this retreat, I'm really excited about it, because these 4 days we will experience how it is to live the life of a yogi. Sometimes people used to ask my teacher, how long should I practice my yoga sadhana every day? And my teacher used to say 24 hours. So being a yogi is not just inside the yoga mat. It is not just a part-time activity, it's a full-time activity. So how to use the principles of yoga in our day-to-day life. And this 4 days during the retreat gives us the opportunity to live the life of a yogi. And we will go in depth into the study of yoga, what is called the Swadhyaya, Swa-Adhyayanam, the self-inspired study of yoga scriptures and self-inspired analysis of this body-mind complex. What is happening in the body? What is happening in the mind when I do these various postures, when I sit for meditation? What happens during the pranayama? So all this we will delve deeper. So allow me to share a couple of quick slides here on holistic yoga. Okay, so holistic yoga. What is holistic yoga? The word holistic, this is a dictionary definition, related to or concerned with the whole system rather than with the parts, rather than with the analysis or the treatment or dissection into the parts. So you can think of holistic yoga as an integrated approach for yoga sadhana, comprehensive, aggregate, well-rounded sequence of practices. So yoga practice that engages the whole system and benefits the whole system, not just at the physical level. And in fact, this is the power of yoga. When we combine all these practices together, practices for the body, practices for the breath, practices for the mind, then synergy happens. Synergy means the combination of these practices is more powerful than the mere sum of its parts. So, for example, when we practice meditation, after we practice asanas and pranayama, we can go deeper in meditation. And that is something we will experientially discover during the retreat. So, holistic means two things in the practice of yoga. We can think of holistic as a vertical integration where we are trying to unite or bring harmony to all these 5 koshas, starting with the physical, the Annamaya kosha, and then the Pranamaya kosha, the pranic sheath or the energy body, Manomaya kosha, the mind, the intellect, the Vijnanamaya kosha, and the Anandamaya kosha. I'm sure all of you are familiar with these Pancha koshas. And not only this vertical integration is possible with yoga, even horizontal integration is possible. So what do we mean by horizontal integration? Even if you consider just one of these 5 koshas, for example, the physical body, the Annamaya kosha, it is comprised of a very complex system, right? Our physical body is a very complex system. You have about 40 trillion cells which self-organize into various tissues and various organs and various systems of function. So yogis have analyzed each of these koshas. For example, the Annamaya kosha, yogis have classified this or subdivided this into sub-koshas. And in fact, there is a text called Yoga Rahasya that we will also delve into during the retreat that says there are 6 sub-koshas within the Annamaya kosha, within the physical body. So how the practice of yoga benefits each of these sub-koshas, the subsystems in the body. For example, Hridaya Kosha, the heart and the circulatory system. Shwasa Kosha, the lungs and the respiratory apparatus, the respiratory system, and so forth. There are 6 koshas. We will go in depth during the retreat. So the point is that in the holistic yoga practice, not only are we achieving integration vertically across all the koshas, within each kosha, for example, within the physical body itself, we are bringing a harmony so that all the systems of functions, the respiration, the circulation, the nervous system, the endocrine system, all these systems, they function together as one organic unit. So there is harmony that we bring into the physical system, and we experience the exuberant expression of health in the physical body and wellness in the inner world. So as we go deeper into these koshas, we experience this wellness. And this is the objective of the retreat. This is an experiential retreat. It is not just talking about concepts or not just mechanical practice for the body, but this is an experiential outcome, that experiential benefits that we will discover during this retreat. So this is about what holistic practice is. So now let me quickly share. This is a tentative schedule that we have for our the 4 days of the retreat. So let me share this here. I hope this is legible. So on day 1, which is August 29th, so we start the session in the evening because people will be traveling to Orlando, and we start the session with check-in and dinner. And the actual retreat, the practices and the yoga wisdom starts on the second day. So the 2 full days, day 2 and 3, we have yoga sadhana. So 6:30 to 8:15. In fact, it's going to be an hour and 45 minutes, 1 hour plus 45 minutes of yoga sadhana, morning yoga sadhana, where we practice the Vinyasa Krama yoga. And then we have a break for breakfast. And then we have in the morning 2 theory sessions. And don't worry, it will not be boring. There'll be lots of activity during these theory sessions as well, lots of discussions and activities as well. So we are going to study the principles of holistic yoga. So what do the classic yoga scriptures say about holistic yoga? And we are going to deep dive into the study of the Yoga Sutras of Maharishi Patanjali. And these sutras, there are 196 sutras, but we will pick a few of the sutras that are relevant to our yoga practice as well as wisdom that we can use in our daily life. So we are going to study some of these sutras. For example, what are the principles of asana practice? How should we do the asanas? What are the core benefits of asanas? Why should we also do pranayama? If somebody says, oh, pranayama is boring, my favorite part of yoga is the asanas. That is the photogenic part of yoga, right? You can put a picture of your yoga practice and post it on Instagram. So why should I do pranayama? So if somebody asks the question, then Patanjali has an answer for that. Pranayama gives its own unique benefits and it complements the practice of asanas. And then to top it off, we have the inner practices, the meditation. So what are the unique benefits of each of these practices? We are going to study them based on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And then in the afternoon session, so post lunch, we have a nice Yoga Nidra practice. Yoga Nidra, yogic sleep. And this is a very beautiful practice. And in Yoga Nidra, there's a systematic way to bring deep relaxation to the body-mind complex. And the approach for Yoga Nidra that we're going to use during this retreat is based on a very classical yoga text called Yoga Yajnavalkya, which is a dialogue with sage Yajnavalkya and his wife Gargi. And Yajnavalkya, the great sage Yajnavalkya, he talks about how to relax the body using 18 marmasthanas, and we will use this principle that is given in the Yoga Yagyavalkya for the Yoga Nidra practice. And then the afternoon sessions will also have more study of the scriptures. We will focus on the Bhagavad Gita study, principles of yoga. Bhagavad Gita is also described as a yoga shastra. So we will delve into the Bhagavad Gita and the principles of yoga. For example, Bhagavad Gita talks about asanas. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya stiram asanam atmanaha. Krishna says. He talks about asanas to prepare the body for high quality experience of meditation. Krishna also defines what is pranayama. So we're going to see how pranayama is described in the Bhagavad Gita and how we can integrate all this wisdom in our daily practice. And one of the unique features of this retreat is we are going to talk about the principles of individualized yoga. In other words, how to personalize or tailor make the yoga sadhana for your unique body type. So we will do a quick questionnaire. We will have a questionnaire that will reveal what is the proportion of the Ayurvedic doshas, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha that is running in the body. And based on your unique body type, what are the recommendations for the yoga practice? For example, when I practice sun salutation, should I do the sun salutation faster or slower pace? Should I do it with lot of vigor and energy, or should I surrender to the practice? You see, there are many ways in which the same practice can be integrated in our yoga sadhana. So based on the unique body type, we are going to personalize the practice of yoga. In fact, uh, if we see the students of the great yogi Krishnamacharya, I mentioned Krishnamacharya as the father of modern yoga. Each of his students who went on to become great teachers, like V.K.S. Iyengar, Pattabi Joyce, and my teacher, Srivatsa Ramaswamy. So each of them had a very unique style. They were not teaching the same type of yoga. So Krishnamacharya was a master of invoking the best in their student to personalize and reveal the inner potential in them. So how to make this possible in our yoga practice so that all of us are not doing the same thing, but to personalize the yoga practice so that we can derive the maximum benefits. So that is part of the retreat as well. So another thing about this retreat is we will also delve into the spiritual aspects of yoga sadhana. For example, there will be a lot of use of mantras, how to practice Surya Namaskar, sun salutation using mantras, and how to practice pranayama using mantras. So these practices are called samantraka pranayama, also called sagarbha pranayama. And Krishnamacharya used to say that pranayama practice without mantras is not as effective. So when you use mantras with pranayama, I'm going to quote my teacher, Srivatsa Ramaswamy. So he used to say that mantras supercharge the benefits of pranayama. Supercharge. He used to use the word supercharge even before Tesla made this famous word. So supercharge the practice of pranayama. So these are some of the things that we will use, and even in meditation, how to use mantras for meditation, practice of japa, and so forth. We will integrate all these spiritual dimensions of yoga as well. And towards the evening sessions, we will also discuss some stories about yoga. For example, this is a beautiful story time. Right? Who was Maharishi Patanjali? What was his life story? And some of the stories associated with the legendary yogis. For example, Matsyendranath, Yogi Matsyendranath. There's a posture named after him. Ardha Matsyendrasana or Purna Matsyendrasana, many variations around Matsyendrasana. So like that, we will also look at some of the stories, and you will notice that when we read the stories of some great yogis, it is truly inspiring, and we that inspiration can serve as an engine to empower our daily sadhana. We get inspired by the great rishis, the great yogis. And so story time is also part of this retreat. So this is a quick summary of what this holistic yoga retreat is about. So this is spread over 4 days, August 29th to September 1st. So this is over the long weekend, Labor Day weekend. And I'm going to stop the slide share here and open the webinar for any questions or discussions. Perhaps I'll hand it over to you, Pragnaji.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarvottam. It was a pleasure knowing about, all this and so many so many dimensions of yoga that you just unfolded. So we do not have too many attendees here. So if people want to ask questions directly rather than putting them in the Q&A box, please raise your hands and I can allow you to unmute yourself and ask questions. Yeah. Bhanuji, you can please go ahead and ask the question.
Namaste, Shriramji. You had talked about individualized practice suggestions based on body type, the dosha type. Would it also include not just the body type, but personally for me with the body type, and if any other issues I have, would you be able to guide us on that also?
That's a good question. So yoga practice can also be used as a chikitsa, that is yoga therapy, for example, to bring relief from a specific condition and so forth. Now, having said that, the objective of this particular retreat is more for a general health and well-being. So we are not going to go deep in the yoga chikitsa aspect of it. Now, if there is any ailment or any existing condition, then please let us know. There'll be a form where you can let us know so that we are aware of it. But the yoga retreat is not meant for yoga chikitsa. So because that is a longer process, you need to be with the teacher one-on-one for several weeks. So one of the things about even the well-rounded sequence of yoga practice that we will be doing in the retreat is, so any yoga chikitsa, any yoga therapy also relies on the fact that we are doing a holistic practice of yoga, because wherever the symptoms are revealing in the body, for example, let's take the low back pain, which is a very common issue that many people experience. Low back pain. The root cause of the low back pain could be elsewhere in the body, you see. So directly attending only to the low back or the lumbar segment or the sacrum, the coccygeal segment of the spine may not help. Maybe the root cause is hiding elsewhere. Maybe the practitioner has to do more core strengthening so that it relieves the stress in the low back. So like that, the point I'm making is that the root cause could lie elsewhere and the symptom could lie elsewhere. So one of the principles of yoga as therapy is that a well-rounded sequence of yoga practice, which includes all parts of the body. In fact, the practice of yoga is also called Sarvanga Sadhana, Sarva Anga Sadhana. It benefits all parts of the body. So wherever the root cause is hiding, it will be affected, you see. So we bring relief even by doing a holistic practice of yoga. But this retreat is not specifically for yoga chikitsa. I hope I've answered the question, Bhanuji.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bhanuji, if you do not have any more questions, I will allow Nalini ji and then Avinash ji to ask their questions. Should I? Okay.
Yes, please.
Nalini ji, you can. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Shriramji, what time does the retreat end on the 1st so that I can plan my trip back to California?
Yes. So the retreat ends post lunch. Now, if you have an earlier flight to catch, then you can always choose to leave earlier as well.
Thank you, Shriram.
I will. Avinash ji wants to. Avinash ji, you can. I have allowed you to talk. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
In fact, the cure and its element, which are you are discussing through the yoga, these are not the yoga properly, because yoga is it is preconditions of the yoga, because these asanas are sthiram sukha asanam. It makes your body stiff so that you can continue in the meditational practices for a longer period. In the same way, the meditational practices help you cure the mental element, but taken together, the entire yam niyam asan pranayam pratyahar dharana dhyan samadhi, it becomes the holistic yoga. If we take into consideration all these things, it means uh, it means these are the yoganga, not the entire yoga. So the aim of the yoga is yoga karma sukoshalam samatvam yoga uchyate tan vidyaduk sanyoga viyoga yoga sangitam. Just I want to say, how can we have these things through yoga?
In fact, the definitions of yoga that you quoted from the Bhagavad Gita,
Sir,
those verses, we are going to study them in depth. So what does it mean, karmasu kaushalam? What does kushalatvam mean? We are going to delve deeper into all of that. You are right. Yoga is not just something that we do inside the yoga mat. So karmasu kaushalam, kushalatvam, how can we express that in our day-to-day life? It is something that we will delve deeper. And what does samatvam mean? Samatvam. And how does the synonym of samatvam or samadhi, samadha vachala buddhihi tada yogam avapsesi, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, and how it is described. What is the definition of that? How does the mind, so what is the nature of the mind when it is in samadhi? It is beautifully described. So we are going to do this cross study between Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutras. Patanjali describes the state of the samadhi. In fact, he gives two definitions of the word samadhi. And we're going to look at both. And he also gives some analogies for samadhi. So we are going to look at all of these principles as well. And thanks for sharing. You are right. It is not just mechanical practice unless we integrate these principles of yoga in every moment of our life. That is when we are harnessing the heart of yoga. That is when we can claim that we are on the path to be a yogi.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Avinashji.
Dr. Sarvottam, Balabhaji is asking, are there any common sessions for people who attend the Devi retreat?
That's an excellent question. In fact, I was thinking about it as well. I'll also be talking to the faculty of the other retreat as well. As you know, there are two parallel retreats that are happening, and we will see. Definitely, there will be satsangs where we will have common sessions as well, bhajan sessions, satsang sessions, and it'll be good to have common sessions, perhaps in the evening sessions.
Yeah, so the evening sessions by Dr. Kanikeshwaram, that is, so far that we know is going to be a common session for all retreat attendees.
Very nice.
So that will be happening, but other than that, maybe we'll keep you all posted on these developments, because these are final developments and we still have almost a month to go, so we can month and a half, in fact. So we
In
keep all
fact,
of you posted. Yes.
both the faculties of the Devi retreat, Ashwatji and Kanikji, I have studied with them. I was a student of their courses that they had offered through the Hindu University of America, and I'm going to request them whether we can have some common sessions as well.
Bhanuji. Okay, yes, Bhanuji, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I had one question about logistics. Last time when I had attended the Shiva retreat, Arvind Swamiji had created a spreadsheet with all the contacts and the flights
Mhm.
that we would be arriving and departing, so
Mhm.
we could carpool from the airport. Would something like that be possibly done this time as well? So it'll be convenient for us to come in and
Yes.
out.
Yes, definitely we will arrange all that as well. That's part of all the retreats that we do.
Thank you.
And some people would also like to know, I don't know if anyone is here, but generally people want to know how children, how old, like are teenagers, if, say if a full family wants to participate and they have teenage children, will this be good for them?
Yes, I would say that this retreat um, will be enjoyed by ages 12 and up.
12 and above.
Yeah. Younger participants, less than 12 years old, maybe the yoga theory might be a bit boring for them. But ages 12 and up, I've noticed that even young teenagers, they really enjoy the practice of yoga, also the theory of yoga. So I've seen there's a lot of enthusiasm in the wisdom of yoga as delving into the classic yoga texts as well.
Arunji, you're asking if you can have a copy of the program that was shown, program as in the spreadsheet that Dr. Sarvottam was sharing. Can I unmute you? Would you like to just unmute yourself and talk? You can ask your question.
Yes, Shriramji, is it possible to have a copy of that program? I'm very interested. I joined a little late, so I'm trying to see if I can fit, my flights to match with the program. So I missed, when does the actual retreat start on Friday, the 29th? Is it in the morning or in the evening?
So Friday 29th, we start uh, in the evening. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yes, Friday we start in the evening with the check-in and dinner. So if you are at the retreat facility by say 6 p.m., that would be ideal.
Okay.
So sometimes if we don't find flight tickets to come before 6 p.m., then if you are coming in a little late, that is also okay.
Okay. So the retreat is 2 full days, Saturday and Sunday, and then half day on Monday. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
We'll share all the details with you, Arunji, along with the recording. All the details of the retreat will be shared with you, and we'll also give you a call if you have any questions, anything. You can always, we can have them all addressed.
Also, I'd like to mention one more thing. So we are two faculty. I'll be the main faculty, and my wife, Eka, she's also a yogacharya, and she will also be leading some of the sessions. And one of the sessions that she will be leading is called Sukshma Yoga. So in the schedule that I had presented before, you might have seen there is one Sukshma Yoga is a practice for the subtle organs of the body. For example, yoga practices for the eyes, how to make the vision sharper, or yoga practices for the ears, and so forth. The subtle aspects of the body, not just the major muscles, the major joints of the body, major internal organs, and so forth, but also the subtle organs of the body. And Eka had the opportunity to study Sukshma Yoga directly from a great yogi by name Swami Yogananda. So she learned Sukshma Yoga directly from him during one of her trips to India for a yoga yatra. She went to study yoga in India, and at that time, the Swami Yogananda ji was 99 years old. So she studied directly with him, and some of the practices that she learned from him, we will get to practice together in the Sukshma Yoga as well.
I hope your questions answered, Arunji. And
Yes, thank you.
so anyone else, do you have any questions? Anything else that you would want to kind of add, Shriramji?
Oh, thank you
Any
so
more
much.
insights into yoga? I know you'll have many things to tell us. And I see Dr. Mahadevan Sitaraman in the attendee list. So Mahadevanji, welcome. Would you want to share some insights?
In fact, Mahadevanji was also there in the previous retreat that I
Oh
taught.
no, I think he
Okay.
dropped off.
Oh, okay. So maybe he dropped.
Yeah, he's one of the main people who helps us organize all these retreats. So I just wanted him for some insights. And Balabharji, you have been to our previous retreat, right? I'm asking him to kind of unmute himself and share some of his experience. We have some time if you would want to.
Yes, I have been to Samskrita retreat. It was wonderful session. I enjoyed it. And even the place itself, it's conducive to learning and relaxing too at the same time. It's a wonderful retreat. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Balaji. And we will be seeing you on the Labor Day weekend as well.
Sure.
So I think you have already, Dr. Sarvottam, you've already kind of explained in detail as to what all to expect. I do not think people will have any kind of ambiguity as to usually, main thing that they want, if they at all want to make it a family getaway and with 2 parallel retreats, that is always possible. If someone in the family is more interested in Devi Puja and someone is more interested in yoga with teenage kids. So now that is also done. Anyone 12 years and above is welcome. Same for Ashwaji's retreat. And we will share all the details along with the webinar recording by say tomorrow or day after. We will be there. The admissions team will be there to help you out with any issues if you have with registrations, any logistics questions, anything that you have. If there is any academic questions that you would want to ask, then we will connect you with Dr. Sarottam himself. He'll be there to help you out with the questions. Any closing thoughts, Shriramji?
I really thank everyone for your great enthusiasm, and I hope to see most of you during the retreat. And I can guarantee that the practice of yoga is extraordinarily powerful. In my own personal experience, I've been practicing since I was 11 years old, and I practice yoga sadhana every day. And even now, after so many years of practice, it boggles my mind how effective the practice of yoga is and what a great gift this is to humanity. So this retreat is actually a great way to invite the practice of yoga sadhana, or if you already have yoga sadhana in your life, to go deeper into the practice. And so this is a great opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you all at the retreat. And I also thank you, Pragyaji, for putting together
Most
this.
welcome. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarvottam. Always a pleasure listening to you. And thank you everyone for taking out time on a Sunday morning to come and listen to us and be with us. Your support means a lot. Thank you. Namaste all. Namaste everyone. Namaste Shriram.
Namaste.